Side of the room.
We've got one over here. Hey,
No.
what's your name, by the way? I'm sorry, I should be asking everybody.
Her name?
Yeah. Oh, the name of the dog? The dog has a question? Oh, I see.
Nobody remembers my name. Nobody knows my name.
No, what is your
Does
name?
anybody really remember when there's a dog? Does anybody really remember the name?
Yes, yes, I am living proof.
So, as I'm sure you're well aware, when you kind of disappeared off of, when you left Blue's Clues and you disappeared off of like the planet, there seems to be like a lot of rumors that swirled around your disappearance. And I think the most interesting one I heard involved you having a whaling accident off the coast of Nova Scotia.
See, there were so many rumors that I died, and honestly, it's only a little funny to me. Sometimes it's not even funny. Like, it was weird. That was weird. That was a weird thing to hold, to think that you did all this stuff, and then everyone, no matter what you do, everyone thinks that you died. Like, it was really kind of a dark thing. But no matter what I did, I couldn't get rid of the rumors. So I started to start my own. And one of them was, I told everyone for 2 years, I was like, no man, that guy died in a whaling accident in Nova Scotia. Basically, then I would complete it, I'd flesh it out, it was just the story of Moby Dick. All right, we've got a real good one for you
Oh,
here.
side
Why
of the
don't you
room.
stand up?
There you go. Careful.
Hi, Quinn.
Question is, what is your
This is my friend
favorite
Quinn.
song
No,
you
did
made?
I get your name wrong?
No?
Okay, yes, it is Quinn. Hi, okay, that's it.
What is your favorite song you made?
Ever? I wrote a song for my sister, and it's called More Than One, because we're kind of like the same person, but we're like really close in age, and that was a very sweet little song, and I really enjoyed writing that one. Probably the song I wrote for my sister, which is on that record that guy has, and nobody else has, except my mom and you. And I like that song called Mighty Little Man, because that's the theme song, by the way, for the spin-off of The Big Bang Theory called Young Sheldon. Yeah, I wrote the theme song for that.
And let's go to this side of the room over here. Got a question right here.
Hi, Steve. Merry
Hi.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
As a mom of a child who absolutely loved Blue's Clues and Steve, and always said, here's the mail when the mail came, and started wagging his tail, I just have to say thank you. Because you piqued a curiosity in him and probably all the generation that watched him, watched you and interacting, and it was just wonderful to see the excitement that he had for learning and education, because you made it a part of his life by getting close to that TV camera and pulling him in, and all the other kids of that generation in. But my question is, how you were working with a cartoon, so how did you know where Blue was going to be, and Salt and Pepper and Magenta and all the little characters that you were supposed to be interacting with? How did you know where they were to be able to make that interaction happen?
Well, first of all, thank you for the first stuff you said. I can't take all the credit for that, and I won't take all the credit for that. Blue's Clues is a brilliantly conceived educational delivery system. That's what it was. It was first and foremost an educational television show. I was an educator. I was an actor who was in the role of an educator. My job was to facilitate that brilliant curriculum. And the reason it was so engaging had somewhat to do with what I was doing, but there was also a lot of very brilliant people that are most of it, you know. And in terms of being, I shot Blue's Clues on a blue screen. You guys are all familiar with the green screen stuff. I couldn't use a green screen because my shirt was green and I would have disappeared. So I was on a blue screen, and there was nothing there. It was just me. It was kind of like being in the bottom of the swimming pool, right? Just imagine there's literally nothing. And it was rounded corners, so you couldn't even see the corners of the room. It just felt like a blue void. And in a way, it was kind of peaceful. You know? It was just this big blue color and then lights in front of me, just lights. And you couldn't even see the director. It was just lights. It looked like something like if you were in heaven or something. It was like this big blue void and then just blinding lights. And the only thing I could see every day was the camera. So Blue's Clues felt to me like a very tiny thing. It felt like this very small, little personal relationship. It was just this very personal conversation I was having with that camera and nothing else, and literally in a void. And seeing the characters was really hard. At first, we didn't really have like TV directors. We just had animators who would sit on set and they would look at what I was doing. They would say, "Hey, Steve, can you move your y-axis 14 degrees? And then can you?" And I'm like, "Dude, no, I can't. I don't even know what you're saying, you know?" And I would run up to the camera and I'd be like, "Hey," and if I was here, it was right, and if I was here, it was wrong. You know, and I was like, this is insanely hard. And it took us forever. For the first season was brutal for all of us, not just for me. But then eventually we just became really ninja about it. We just got super good. And what's interesting is if this is Mr. Salt, right? And you're like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Salt." And he's like, "Hello, Steve, I'm going to do things and go, I'm going to go over here and get an orange and blah, 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 blah." What you would never do is this. Right? And if I did that on Blue's Clues, if I went, "Hi, Mr. Salt, how are you?" Blah, 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 blah. It would look really fake. So you have to be like, "Oh, hey, it's Mr. Salt, blah, blah, blah. How you doing, man? Blah, blah, blah." Hey. And you pick 3 points, right? Stuff like that is like, it sounds simple, but it's so hard. My least favorite character, for that reason, on Blue's Clues, was Slippery Soap. I was like, "Oh God, no scene with soap." Because he'd be like, "Whoa, whoa." I have to know where that was in my mind while I'm asking you questions. I'd have to have that memorized where he was going to be in space, and it was just too hard. It was too hard. That's why there really wasn't much of that character.
How long would it take to do an episode? How long would you have to?
Season 1, like the first season, took us like 4 or 5 days to do an episode of like 12-hour days. And that's just my part, and then it would be animated for months, right? By the time I left, I could do a show in a day. You know, we got so weird good at that show. But you would like anything, like you would. You know, practice makes perfect.
I think on the far side we have another question.
Got one over here. Hey, what's your name?
Madison.
Hi, Madison. Steve, nice to meet you.
So I wanted to know, what was your favorite part about filming Blue's Clues, and then did you ever think it would get as big as it did?
My favorite part about Blue's Clues was talking to the camera, was creating that interaction with the home viewer. That is still my favorite part of Blue's Clues. And absolutely not did I think. I didn't think it was going to work. I was like, man, this show is cool, but it is deeply weird. And people are not going to talk to the TV. Like, that's not going to happen.
Oh, I still do.
I hoped that it would. I was like, this is cool. This is like the Rocky Horror Children's Show. And I was like, I hope this works, but I didn't for a second think that it would not only work, but sort of change children's television. You know, I didn't think so. I'm glad that it's amazing that it's still around and everything, but the answer is no, I did not think so.
Was there a whole set of camera people there, or was there like steady camera people there?
No, we had one camera. Blue's Clues is very interesting. Blue's Clues, by the way, is an homage to Fred Rogers, right? It's not just influenced by. We are worshiping that show. It is an homage to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And one thing that he did really, God, I love talking about Fred Rogers in Pittsburgh. Hey, Fred. One of them, everything that he did was perfect. But the one one thing that he understood was that very young children are disoriented by film language, by camera movement, by the way that things cut from perspective to perspective. So that's why the camera was always very still in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And when he would go to the kitchen, the camera would literally follow him through that wall. You know what I mean? He never cut. And that's why I went like this, like a crazy person, just walked in place and everything went behind me, because we wanted to cut as little as possible. Wait, where was I going with that? Oh, we had multiple cameras. Oh no. So there was one camera and we never moved it. It was on a tripod. We would focus it and walk away from it. You know, it was as simple as possible. And there's a lot of weird, awkward stuff about Blue's Clues that was done very intentionally for the audience, for that specific audience, that as an adult you watch it, it's like, that's really clunky and weird, but it was actually done really intentionally, really mindfully, and made it very sticky to a 4-year-old's mind.
So, like, was there somebody behind the camera that was always different, or you ever have like somebody actually working the camera behind the camera? You're playing to that person.
No. I maybe I'm misunderstanding your question. You mean like an acting partner?
No, just kind of like, was it always the same person back there?
We have 3 or 4 different directors of photography, but they weren't really people that I could see. You know, in the first season, remember how I said, this is wrong and this is right? I'd have to do it again if I was wrong, right? In the first season, we had a wonderful camera guy named Skip. And the rule was the camera could never move, but he felt bad for me because I was doing 35 takes because this was wrong and this was right. So he would unlock the camera, and when I come close to it, he would like make it right. But for the most part, no.
Let's get some more questions right here.
Hi.
Hey.
So with the generations that have spread out, even with future ones coming along, how does it feel to see all these people of all these ages commune around this show that has become a timeless children's classic?
Tell me your name again.
Baxter.
Baxter. Hey man, how you been?
Good.
Been 20 minutes since I've met him. Great. That's the weirdest part of it, you know. And if you want the real answer, it's difficult for me to internalize that. You know, when I think of what we call an evergreen children's television show, you think of the ones that have been around forever and that have been meaningful to multiple generations. And when I think of that, I think of Sesame Street. And I think of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Reading Rainbow. I think of these kind of children's television shows approach the same